We come to you live from Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. I'm Jack Morgan. Alongside me, Brendan Flato. Now, we are coming to you without the teams on the ice that will be happening in a few minutes. We have heard the YouTube comments. We do understand. Got a little bit of a late night hockey start here because the Pitt-Penn State game for club hockey actually happened before this game started. And me and Brendan were watching it. Great game. It ended up going to overtime. That is why we are a little late, and we hope you stick with us here throughout the game tonight. Brendan, you were here last week. Duquesne really hung well with Pitt.
Yeah, they did. It was a really physical game between the Dukes and the Panthers, but I think there's a lot that Duquesne can take from that game and bring into this game against Kentucky to hopefully get the win.
All right, well, we are going to take a quick break, get ourselves ready to bring you Duquesne hockey here tonight. Don't worry, you have the right stream, you're in the right place. We'll be up here, getting the Duquesne season going again here on Duquesne Hockey's YouTube channel. Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. This is ACHA Hockey here on the Duquesne Hockey YouTube channel. I'm Jack Morgan, bringing you the action here tonight with Brandon Flato. And Brendan, you were here last week. As we mentioned, you saw Duquesne put up a really good fight with Pitt, something that we haven't seen in terms of that level in a while. And it certainly is an encouraging sign of things to come in this Duquesne season.
Yeah, it was. I really like the physicality that Duquesne played with, as I mentioned earlier. And then also, I really like the offense from forward Ethan George. He made some great plays in close on net for the Duquesne offense, as well as had some good dangles on the ice. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play again tonight.
All right, so we're ready to get the game underway here. Taking the opening draw, that is Joseph Kirkavold, and it is won by Kentucky. We are underway. Duquesne looking for win number 1 of the season, and it would be a good one to get.
Yeah, Jack, the Dukes led in that game against Pitt in the third period. Just weren't able to pull it out, but
they will look for some more momentum here to build on what was a good showing against the Pitt Panthers. Kentucky with majority of the first 40 seconds of possession. It's dumped in by Alex Goldan, the junior from Fairport, New York. Chased after by the Dukes. Are trying to take Kentucky off the puck, which has been the case the first minute of this one. And then in net for Kentucky, that will be Riley Allen, the senior. And he last year, we'll give you his career stats. 139 games. 139 goals allowed. He's got 94.8% save percentage and a .267 goals against average. So not bad for the senior as Kentucky gets it deep. Heading out to that one is Mark Leroux. He's the captain. We'll say his name a lot tonight.
Duquesne is able to get this one here.
Now here comes Lombardo, Dominic Lombardo, a new number this year, number 4. Got 15 goals in his Duquesne career. Now out to the point. Browning his first shot of the night, and Duquesne's first shot of the night misses wide. That one now deflecting on net, goes wide right of the net. Chasing after it, Jason Tucker, new to the squad this year for the Dukes. Puck gets out of the zone, however. JT Gary couldn't keep it in. It was going to be a tough task nonetheless. As we have 17:53 remaining to go here in the first period. Duquesne and Kentucky here tonight from Alpha Ice Complex. I apologize for the camera right there. We're getting that going now. So now Duquesne looking to keep possession in their own end, in Kentucky's own end for that matter. Up to the point, a shot, it goes high off the glass. Now a centering pass, and it's saved on the one-time shot from Zachary Rich. Play blown dead, as it will be Duquesne who will keep the puck in their own offensive zone.
Yeah, Jack, we saw 2 great shots from the point there for the Dukes. Both of them just went a little bit high. But we also saw that a lot from Pitt, where they were able to get those shots. It actually resulted in a goal with one of the defensemen scoring against Pitt. But we'll look to see if the Dukes can keep getting those shots on net.
Face off, one forward by the Duquesne Dukes. Chasing after that is Lavrich. Lavrich with some help behind the net. Lavrich over towards the corner with it. Back up to the point. Here's a shot blocked. Puck gets dropped down into Duquesne's own end. Kentucky keeps it, but not for long. It was miscommunication, but kind of caught a rock in a hard place they were over there. We got some pushing and shoving towards the Kentucky bench. Things settle down, though, and now the Wildcats have possession down low. Duquesne able to rally. Now with it is Finn Moss.
Jack, I think we're starting to see that physicality come into play here in this one.
Elliot Wrigley on the bench for the Dukes. Like that one. Lewis will get it away. Had Goldan streaking out. Still does. So Goldan now with it. Takes one defender off the puck. Now centers it back for Flock. Flock not in the place he needed to be. Was punched right back in by Flock again.
I like the idea there from Golden. If Flock was there just a second earlier, that would have been a good opportunity for the Dukes.
Not bad. Not a bad thought there, as now Kentucky trying once more for anything to go their way. Duquesne's doing a good job of taking them off the puck. Definitely want to see more of that. That was something that Duquesne did lack, was the ability to get the pressure away from that offensive side of things, especially defensively. Once a team made it in past the blue line, it really felt like Duquesne had a lot of trouble turning things around, and they're going to certainly address that this year. Their head coach, Conrad Waite, another year at the helm. He's done a good job with this program, and is looking to coach his team to win number 1 here on the season tonight.
Kentucky benched you into it a little bit there, Jack. A long trip for them, but they seem to have brought the energy.
As we pulled in here today, they had the bus, so I would have to assume probably about a 6-7 hour drive. We're theorizing that. Not a bad drive if you think about it. I thought it was worse just from a quick thought. Now, I never claimed to be great at geography, but
Not a bad drive, but after a long week of classes, who knows?
for sure. Badalo whacking away at it with George, and eventually Kentucky comes away with it. Moving with it, that is Varchetto. Varchetto centers out towards the top of the point for Ullin, who throws it on net. It is saved. Working down low, that's Jake Laub. Laub, one of the starters tonight. Here's a shot on net that was saved. Nicely done by Nick Gagne. There was a firing shot from in close.
Gagne's played really well so far on this one. They've been getting shots on him. He's stood his ground so far, though.
Now Duke's looking to push out. Instead, that deflects out of play and towards the bench. A little bit of I think a few hearts skipped a beat there towards the back end.
So, Jack, this is a late game, obviously, late start after the overtime for Pitt, but Kentucky's used to these kind of games. They're used to early morning games, if you will. They play most of their home games, all but one, starting at 12 in the morning.
Oh my goodness, wow. And we were, I will say, a lot of these Duquesne games do end up being around 9:20, 9:30. Midnight, that's that's a big commitment. So, I think you were saying, it's kind of like they're kind of an early game for them, by all accounts, as they mucking in that corner. Kentucky is with Duquesne. Tristan Lloyd trying his hardest to just get it away, and said Kentucky wins at 50-50 and had some space on the left side. It closed quickly. Pass up ahead could not be completed over there for number 7 for the Dukes, Brandon Barger, the junior from Huntington Valley, PA, a Holy Ghost Prep alum. Has 1 goal in his Duquesne career. He had an assist. Excuse me, 3. He has 3 goals, pardon me, in his Duquesne career. No goals, no points so far on the year. He did play in that first game against Pitt. Kept up at the point, and it's blocked. JT Gary.
That's one thing you love to see from the Dukes, willing to lay their body on the line to block those shots. You saw it a lot in that first game versus Pitt. I think it's a sign that this is a well-coached team and that they're willing to put their bodies on the line for the team.
Santancello spinning and firing into the zone, and offsides is the call with 13:47 to go in the first.
Kentucky leads this one in shots on goal, 4-1 so far over the Dukes. It kind of felt as we first started that the Dukes were controlling the pace of this game, but it's kind of seemed like Kentucky's really winning in the offensive end right now.
13:46 remaining in the first period of play between Duquesne and Kentucky. Tommy Leroy towards that left side does get it away. Lavridge chasing after it. It's not going to be an icing. Kind of died towards the end there. Now one kept in at the point. Just not enough open air for the Dukes to get anything going. Down the left side, that's Matthew Jost. battling in the corner with Jared Smith. Jared Smith, the sophomore from Hollidaysburg, PA, second year with the Dukes. Smith had 5 points last year, all were assisted. 2-on-1 for the Dukes. Looking to strike first. Shot save. Rebound in front, and it is covered, not in an orthodox way, by goalie Riley Allen for Kentucky. A good chance for Duquesne early on here. It was 13 to go.
Yeah, Zach Rich
Got an opportunity one-on-one against the goalie there. Couldn't put it away. Good attempt by the Dukes to try and get that rebound, but a great cover by the goaltender for Kentucky.
13 minutes to go here in the first period. Kept in at the line. Not for long, however, as Jake Lobb will have it on the left side. His shot on that goes wide. Now with some neat dangles there on the left side was Killian Flock. He pretty good at that. He had a good first year with Duquesne. In his freshman campaign, he had 15 points, 4 goals. That's some pretty important ones, as I do recall, and he's looking to continue to have an impact on this Duquesne Dukes team.
Jack, the Wildcats are getting a lot of shots early on in this game, but most of them are wrist shots, primarily coming from the point.
They haven't exactly been able to get
Right in front of the goaltender for Duquesne, but they're definitely getting those shots off.
Moving forward with the puck once again, and he's done it a lot tonight. It's been Santangelo. Duquesne taking him off the puck, but not getting it any further than that blue line. Now that is a heck of a pass that ended up working out for a shot from the slot that went high. Well, that was Gabriel Rodriguez who had it, but then I believe that was Charlie Chinian who had the shot off the deflection there, and that's a save by Gagne and a cover for a draw in the Duquesne defensive end.
You get these wrist shots for Kentucky, they're getting them. They haven't been able to get one past the goaltender for the Dukes yet, but they're getting their shots off, and they're looking pretty good.
Duquesne able to get 3 shots so far on net here tonight. 5 for Kentucky. 11:47 and 46 now remaining here in the first period. Duquesne looking to strike, shot save, rebound still loose in the slot. Back out to Smith. He's pretty close at that circle. Here's a shot save, another one. Saved and goes off the top of the bar.
Wow,
good Duquesne pressure. That one launched into the zone, went off of the ref. That almost really doesn't work out for Duquesne as Kentucky with some space. Here's a shot. It is deflected wide. Now Duquesne probably not happy with the bounce that took off of the referee. Here's a shot again from an awkward angle. Duquesne gets the puck towards the blue line, but no further at the moment. Medallo has it with some space, and he rockets it off the side of the boards and out of the zone. So Kentucky now with some pressure. Now on the right side, that is Hazelton. That deflects towards the right side behind the net. Racing after it is Medallo. Medallo with some speed on the left side. Curling towards the edge with a shot. It's saved. Bouncing puck towards the corner, and it's cleared away. And a possible 2-on-1 for Kentucky. Here we go. The pass over for a shot. It's saved. A great save at that. Nate James denied by Gagne.
Gagne has looked really solid so far, really helping to keep Duquesne in this one
early on, as they've allowed
a lot of shots on him, to be honest.
Jason Tucker was forced off the puck with a body. Now with it is Rich. Zachary Rich got it deep in the zone, but no problem for Allen as he covers.
Yeah, Jack, Gagne and Allen quickly becoming the stories in this one. Duquesne has 6 shots on goal. Kentucky has 8. Nobody's scored one yet, and these goalies have really been keeping their teams in the game, as it's been a really flurry of offense for both teams.
10 minutes remaining here in the first period. That shot blocked. Kept by Golden at the line. He got into the slot, but Eventually going to pick up the puck behind the net. Good takeaway there by Kentucky. They do get it out. Not too much numbers on the other end, but still a chance to make a play. That one thrown towards net. Now lobbed into the slot. Still loose at the top of the blue line, and some nice dangles moving in there by Santangelo, but Duquesne converges on him. Pushed it back towards the center line. Now a one-time pass blocked in the middle and cleared away. Just barely. It took a couple extra seconds. Lloyd was the one who jumped that pass. Here's a shot towards net, wide. Lloyd again will clear it away, and Duquesne not having the tides shift towards them here. They started out the game with some good momentum, but Kentucky, the one dominating the last couple of minutes of action with 9:02 to go in the first period. That shot goes wide. Lloyd racing towards it. Not sure if it was really a fake, but his mishap kind of helped Duquesne get the puck deep in the territory of Kentucky. That one racing towards net. It was deflected away by Allen, and Allen faces the shot right back at him, and he covers it with ease this time. Riley Allen not missing a beat to start this one. He already has 8 saves. Pressure for Kentucky with 8:20 remaining in the first period. Dollar can't make an indent on that pass, and it goes flying down the other way for an ice with 8:09 remaining here in the first period.
This game's already starting off a lot different than the Duke's opener versus Pitt.
Within like the first 2 minutes, Pitt was able to get on the board, and then Duquesne responded right away. We're still at a scoreless tie over halfway through the first period.
Ethan George gets it deep. I think, again, that was intended for Lombardo to get a little bit of a piece of it, but he doesn't. So, icing call, a couple quick icings for the Dukes here with 7:59 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, back-to-back icings from the Dukes. We've seen them dump the puck down into the zone a lot tonight. They've been able to get somebody on the other end of it a couple times, but back-to-back here we've got icing calls.
7:59 remaining here in the first period. That one back out to the point. Lobbed into the zone. It was caught pretty nicely by Nick Gagne.
We've seen a couple of times so far, Jack, Gagne not cover up the puck when he's got a lot of room and dump it off to one of his teammates, but on the other end, Allen, even when he's got some room, he's covered up a little bit more.
Now there's a 2-on-1. It was quickly closed off. Barger is the one with the puck, racing in to get it is Smith. Smith towards net, save, rebound, saved again. That's a grade A save by Allen. Wow.
Allen
saving the day.
Sticking the pad out there. Looked like a great chance for Duquesne.
Really was. Probably the best chance of the day so far. 7:03 remaining in the first period. Well, late night hockey here from Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. We're glad you're joining us. I'm Jack Morgan. That's Brendan Flato to my left. And should be a fun year of Duquesne hockey here. You'll hear a lot more of us two going forward, as that one saved with ease by Gagne, just making sure he was in the right spot. 6:44 to go in the first period.
That last chance where we saw Allen make that great pad save was really the first time we've seen teams with a great opportunity near the crease for a goal. Most shots today have come from the wrist shot, from the point. So we'll see if either team can get close to the crease as this one moves forward.
Lloyd can't keep it in, and it leads to a chance for Kentucky. And a nice play on the back end there. Burning it at both ends was Killian Flock, making sure nothing came of that opportunity. That one deflects wide. That was a dangerous deflection on a high velocity shot.
Interesting decision by Kentucky to change there while the puck was still deep in the offensive end. Allowed Duquesne to kind of regain possession.
Speaking of regaining possession, here's Kentucky with a shot on net. It's saved. I believe that was that was not Jake Laub. Instead, that was Cooper Korinsky, the freshman. .5:42 remaining in the first period of action with Duquesne and Kentucky. A nice, really fun A10 SEC battle. You don't see it often, but you're seeing it here tonight in terms of hockey, which is, there's no A10 club hockey and SEC club hockey. It would be fun, but teams coming from different divisions at Kentucky, this is their first, one of their first games ever as a D1 program. They were D2 club last year. They're now D1 club.
Yeah, I believe this is their first official game. I think they played an exhibition last week, but I think this will go down as their first official game as a Division I team.
Back up. That was blocked, and Duquesne might have to get back. Luckily, they do with Colin Browning. That was Mark Dahl who had the shots for the Dukes. 5:06 remaining here in the first period. That one flying out of play.
Yeah, it's going to be a souvenir for one of our fans here.
Pretty sure one puck fly up here in my 3 years doing this. I did not catch it.
You got to start bringing a baseball glove.
I might have to. If I get a chance to catch one, I will say, last year, and I think every year, Duquesne does a teddy bear toss. I literally threw my teddy bear. There was a heater right above us. That teddy bear did not make it to the ice. It was one of my more embarrassing moments, but it was a good call. So I'm cool with what happened afterwards. And that goes right on net. It was just sitting inside of the body of Laub. Rodriguez. That one goes towards the center of the net. No one there for Duquesne. That cannot be kept in by Smith. It was tight, but definitely the right call. The ref was right there to call offside. And 4:31 remaining. And I would say probably an evenly contested first period.
I think it has been a pretty successful first period for the Dukes, but I also think if you're the Wildcats, you could consider this a successful first period for yourselves as well. First Division I game, you're going up against a good club in Duquesne. They've held their own pretty well.
4:15 remaining in the first period of action. A shot towards net, it goes wide. Laub over there on the right side to get to it. Puck eventually gone away. Lombardo clears it in. Now that one is fired towards net. It got a nice little deflection there by Killian Flock, but you're locked in here so far tonight. I believe that goes down to shot. 3:43 remaining in the first with the Dukes Wildcats tied. And it goes right back towards net. We're going to do that again. Just take a couple. That's something to kind of just keep in your back pocket there if we see those tempers start to flare. It's only the first period.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a collision there after the cover from the goalie.
Shot on net is saved with the pad of Allen. It's been a common theme in this first period. He's had a couple big pad saves. Here's a shot towards net. It's blockered away by Gagne. Nice hold in the corner by that Kentucky forward, and almost led to a goal. That was Caden Englund. He is a freshman too. Goldan gets through one. Can he get a shot off? He does, and it's saved.
Gagne and Allen, we can't talk enough about how well they've played so far in this first period, really keeping the teams in it.
He's going to have to do it again. That goes off the bar.
Looked like Gagne may have gotten his blocker on there to knock it off the crossbar, but
wow.
Man.
Wild action going on here. Had a little shove towards in between the two benches here. I think that was Klingerman kind of giving a little shove there, and ironically, JT Gary received it. He had a smile on his face.
Kentucky's really not afraid to get their shots off here. They're letting it rip from anywhere out on the ice. Gagne, though, really standing his ground so far in this one.
Can't score if you don't shoot. That's what Kentucky must be looking at right now, as there's 2 minutes and 10 seconds here in the first period. Scoreless so far, but with Kentucky threatening in Duquesne's defensive end. Ward not quick to get to that one. Leaves for Jost. Here's Jost back up at the point. As Varchetto battling down there. Jost comes to help. He pushes it forward. And off for that one will be Tucker. Tucker with it. Just gets around one defender, loses it at his feet. He's got to get back on this one. He does, and awkward angle that took off the boards. And Kentucky now catching Duquesne in a line change, trying to take advantage towards the net. Not able to get a stick on that was Jake Laub. 1:20 to go now in the first period. Tristan Lloyd now with it. Banks it off the boards behind the net over towards Zachary Rich. Rich missed the outlook pass for Luke Lavrich, as it will go all the way down to the other end for icing. 1:08 to go.
We've seen a lot of icing from the Dukes today. It almost seems like the game plan is to kind of try and get a pass up ahead, get somebody to run onto that, try and create an odd man rush. It's come with the consequence of a few icing calls so far, though.
1:08 to go here in the first period of action between Duquesne and Kentucky. From Alpha Ice Complex tonight, Jack Morgan here alongside Brendan Flato. We got some good hockey here so far, an evenly contested 0-0 battle. Kentucky looking to change it. We go under a minute to go now. Zachary Rich lost off the puck, and now a nice glove save by Nick Gagne, flashing the leather a little bit. 47.6 seconds now in the first period.
Gagne's doing it all for the Dukes so far. We've seen a couple blocker saves, a glove save. He's playing really well.
That one will be won by Duquesne in the end, but Kentucky ends up getting the puck. 38 seconds remaining here. Allen fired towards net, blocked. Now some nifty moves in the center of the slot by Law, but Duquesne eventually gets him off the puck. 26 seconds remaining. Nate James towards net, saved. Another save. Duquesne surviving here towards the end of the period. With Lombardo now with 15 seconds, 14. Throws it towards the front, still loose in the slot. Duquesne can't get to it. A 3-on-2 with 9 seconds now, 8. This will probably be the last chance of the period. Here's a shot towards net, blocked. 2 seconds now, 1. That will do it for the first period of action here from Alpha Ice Complex tonight. Duquesne and Kentucky, a 0-0 stalemate after 20 minutes of action. We'll get you set for the second period after this. You're watching Duquesne Hockey on the Duquesne Hockey YouTube channel. Duquesne and Kentucky here from Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. I'm Jack Morgan. Alongside me, Brendan Flato. We have the action here for you tonight. After one period, it's been Duquesne that has kind of fallen a little bit behind in terms of the action, especially towards the end of the period. They do, however, prevent any goals, any damage from happening. They are tied with the Wildcats at 0 here after the first period of play. And Brendan, I guess we were kind of talking about it. You kind of echoed that Kentucky kind of felt like they had the pressure towards the end, right?
Yeah, I mean, the shots on goal are pretty even, favoring Kentucky 14-13, but it kind of feels like Kentucky's controlled the pace offensively of this game. You know, Duquesne's gotten their shots off, but it doesn't really seem like they've held possession in the offensive zone much in this game. It's been mostly Kentucky doing that so far.
Absolutely. So Duquesne's going to try and get that tide turned to their end. I will say, I think the thing that stuck out to me was the inability to break out on these after you get the puck, after forcing the turnover. And Kentucky's offensive end here, it just feels like those breakout passes have more so led to icings than ever build up into the offensive zone for the Dukes. And I think that's something that head coach Conrad Waite probably talking about in the locker room here with his team. And they're about set to take the ice very soon here. We'll get back to you in just a few minutes with more action here from Alpha Ice Complex. The second period between Duquesne and Kentucky coming up right after this. Back here at the second period of action between Kentucky and Duquesne. I'm Jack Morgan alongside Brendan Flato. So far, it is Duquesne 0, Kentucky 0. Now, loud horn that sounded, that is signaling the second period of action about ready to get underway. And Brendan, Duquesne looking to get that first goal is going to be very important the way this game is trending. I don't know if that's how you're feeling too, but that's what I'm seeing.
I mean, yeah. After that first period, I think it's whoever scores this first goal, it's going to be a tough hill to climb for the other team. I can see it being a huge momentum swing in either direction. And honestly, I can't predict right now which way that first goal is going to go. 13-14 shots on goal, favoring the Wildcats right now.
Certainly is going to be an interesting and fun second period of action. We're glad you joined us here tonight from Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. Kentucky getting things underway here in the second period with a shot on net. It's saved. So no problem so far here tonight for Nick Gagne. That's save number 15 of his night.
That is a lot of pucks on net here early in this game, and a lot of saves for Gagne.
He's really doing his best to keep Duquesne in this one. He looks comfortable doing it. Very smooth. Once again, Kentucky will have possession of the puck here as we move forward here with 19:40 to go here in the second period. Just getting underway. 0-0. Both sides have had a couple really good opportunities. I think Duquesne has had a couple. I think Duquesne's two opportunities were probably the best chance of the game. It's just Kentucky's had a lot of pressure in Duquesne's own end, and that really was how things felt like they wrapped up in the first period.
Yeah, I mean, that save that Allen made around like midway point in the first period with the pad there.
Yeah, that was huge.
That was a golden opportunity for the Dukes, and Allen took it right away.
Absolutely, that is worth mentioning as one of the more important plays of the game. 19:18 remaining here in the first period. It now will be up to the Wildcats to get a shot on net here. They've got 14 of them. They keep it in. Not for long as Duquesne's pressure forces it out of the zone. So, second game of the year for Duquesne. They dropped the first one to Pitt. 2-on-2 here. It might develop into something. Here's a shot on net, but gloved with ease by Nick Gagne.
You know, Jack, I think one of the things we haven't really talked a lot about today is the physicality of the game. This game, I feel like, is being played physically, but not as much as the game versus Pitt. Now, does that have something to do with the city game rivalry type of game as the game versus Pitt? But the physicality from neither team really hasn't had to get to that level that it did against Pitt.
We did see a couple of chippy end of the whistle activity, but not as much as you see usually in the Pitt game. But that's something to look towards. I think Duquesne plays well when they have a little bit of an edge, and there's always an edge for Duquesne whenever they play Pitt, and that's a good edge. We're gonna have to try and find that here tonight. Gagne covers it up, but Kentucky doing more of the same here to start the second period. 18:19 to go. Now puck towards the slot is deflected away by Duquesne. Took a couple of bounces, but puck doesn't get any further than that red line until it is dumped in. Kentucky deep in their own end. A lot of speed there from Zachary Rich. Eventually takes him off the puck, and now Duquesne has possession. In the offensive end, now back up to the point. Here's a shot towards net. It's saved with the stick and deflected out of play. That was Finn Moss who had the shot there for the Dukes.
Yeah, Moss tried to go 5-hole there. Allen was having none of it. Got the stick there, deflected it into the net.
Killian Flock taking the draw for Duquesne. Big race down towards that back red line. Jared Smith winning it. He's got a lot of speed. He showed it off there, forcing the icing. It was a drag race right there with the extra skater Nick Delaney for Kentucky tonight.
Yeah, Delaney wasn't going to make that one easy for the Dukes to be able to get the icing call, but they get it nonetheless. And Jack, that's 2 icings here early in this second period from Kentucky. We didn't see any from them in the first. We saw a couple from Duquesne. Interesting to see 2 early here.
Something of note for sure, Brendan, as Duquesne does keep it in. Some good forecheck there. Here's a shot on that. It's saved. Duquesne remaining strong at the line until Kentucky finally jams it out. And now 2-on-1 developing for the Wildcats. Here's a shot on net, saved. And covered and unintentionally, albeit by Gagne, but he had it inside of his pads. A little pushing and shoving after the whistle. That was the extra skater again, Delaney, getting in on the action.
Jack, we saw on that last offensive possession from the Dukes, Flock get off a good spinning shot there. We've seen him get a lot of shots on net here today. We'll see if he can get one to find the back of the net here in this second period.
A little bit of a roar from the Kentucky bench there. That was near Kentucky's penalty box. A little hit happened. Here's a shot on net, saved. Rebound loose in the center of the slot, but Duquesne not able to corral that bouncing puck. Deflected in by Medallo. No change for the Dukes. They'll chase after it with Lombardo heading the search party for the puck. They eventually give way to Kentucky up towards the red line, but a little back and forth action here. No one able to keep the puck until it's chopped at into the zone by Ethan George. Will go off for a change. Kentucky has it in their own end. Who I believe is Rodriguez back there. Could be wrong, my apologies. Either way, that's Yost with it on the right side towards a slot for a shot. It's saved by Gagne and covered. Getting a little chippy towards the center of, or towards the front of the net after the whistles here. Duquesne doing their best to protect their goalie, Gagne. 16:04 remaining in the second period. Lloyd tries to shove it out of the zone. He turns it over. It's a shot on net. They score. Just like that, it's Macklin Yell. The sophomore has the first goal of the game, and it's 1-0 Kentucky.
Yeah, we've seen the Wildcats get a lot of those wrist shots from the slot. Gagne has been able to stop most of them, but not that one. Great wrist shot to find the top left corner.
Macklin Yell, that is his first goal of the season. That is his 11th goal. The sophomore, 6'180". He had all that frame wide open in the slot, and he did not miss. Now, it was just Lloyd was all alone there amongst a few different Wildcats, and just was not able to shovel it out. That's definitely going to be offsides on Duquesne. Laveridge was not even close there. They'll have to circle back and try and defend this Kentucky offense. They're up 1-0 here in the first period, second period of play, albeit very early in the second period with 15:35 to go.
Yeah, that goal, not only his first of his career, but also the first for Kentucky in Division I.
And Smith is taken down. The penalty is called. Duquesne has the advantage. They weren't exactly playing it too aggressively. Now they will.
Gagne is to the bench.
All right, so Duquesne will get their first power play of the night. That is, ironically, the first power play of the game with 15:14 remaining in the second period. The Dukes will be up a man here for 2 minutes. The penalty goes on Gabriel Rodriguez. I believe they got him for interference.
Yeah, Jack, you mentioned that's the first penalty of the game. It's been a really clean game, both sides. Other than like a few icings, really clean play by both teams.
Absolutely. I think I've done that jinx a couple of times. Here's a chance on the Short-handed opportunity. The shot goes wide. Rebound. Loose towards the back of the net, and flying into the boards there was Macklin Yell. He had the first goal. Excuse me, that not being Macklin Yell. Instead, I believe that was LaRoe, the captain for Kentucky, had a breakaway opportunity, and then Jake Lawbrew came flying in towards the back end, and LaRoe won that right towards himself and just missed it high. He had that top corner to pick, and he just missed.
We talked earlier about which team is going to be able to get pucks towards the crease. There was an opportunity for the Wildcats.
Duquesne win that 50-50 battle. Now with it, Goldan with 1:20 remaining here on the power play. Duquesne looking to tie this one up at 1. With space on the left side, Goldan. Goldan towards the net. That shot goes wide. Picked up, however, by Kirkevold. Kirkevold deep at that blue line. Possible danger upcoming. Flying out to get that is Gagne, and Duke's happy he did, because that prevented a goal. That's a missed opportunity on the pass to Alex Goldan, and it's cleared away. So Duquesne certainly would want that one back, as they had a chance at a 3-on-2. Nice first move by Medalo. Gets it up towards Tucker. Tucker lost it. Retrieved at the point by Lewis. Now over towards Medalo. Lombardo can't get to it, and eventually it is cleared away all the way down, but with 20 seconds remaining on the power play, it's no problem for Kentucky. Every second counts. They really have just thwarted any chance Duquesne has had at even getting the puck into the zone on this power play, and a well-done job by the Kentucky penalty killing squad. They clear it one more time. Goes all the way down to Gagne. He's going to have to hold that. That's a great job by Kentucky in that 2-minute span. They got a couple short-handed opportunities, and then able to force a cover by Gagne. It's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a really impressive penalty kill by the Wildcats. Really never let Duquesne get anything started. Honestly, they had more chances of their own short-handed.
Absolutely. I think the shots were 2-0. Well, maybe 1-0. That second shot did not go on net, but it made everyone's heart skip a little bit. Here's a one-time shot. That one went high as well. Towards the center of the slot, still loose, grabbed by Barger. Barger lifts it up ahead, flying down the ice to try to get to that puck, and almost did. But coming away with the last laugh was Hewlin. Wrapping around the boards for a centering pass. Kentucky almost gets goal number 2 there. Instead, flying up the other way was Rich. Rich gets it deep. Goldan gets to it. Goldan lost it, and now it will be pushed up ahead by Hazelton. On the right side, Hazelton waiting for reinforcements. Now will go towards the net. Can't wrap it around to the left side of Gagne, and now it will be cleared almost out of the zone. It just stayed at that blue line. That could be trouble. It was almost trouble for Duquesne. Some of the spots on this ice kind of a little bit dead. I mean, especially in that corner, but it was no problem for Duquesne. They will get it away, but an icing is the call, so another offensive zone draw for UK.
Yeah, it's less set offense from Kentucky right now in the offensive zone, but that doesn't mean that they don't have the puck in the offensive zone consistently. Duquesne trying to get it into their offensive zone.
.54 remaining here in the second period of action. Wow, Goldan almost had some open space, but Kentucky converging there to make it difficult. There's a shot on net from an awkward angle. It was saved by Allen, but Kirkevold had the shot. Lombardo almost kept it in, but last-ditch effort by Kentucky gets it away. Liam Mooney is the extra skater tonight for the Dukes. He had it there, but couldn't get any further than the blue line. That puck turned over. Yost has it, lost it. Lloyd with it again. Lloyd was pressured into a turnover that led to the first Kentucky goal of this game, and not too much on him. I mean, that way he was just swarmed. Here's Medalla with it. It's a sweet move, but gets stuck towards the right side of the boards. With it, launched up to the point. Here's a shot, it goes wide. And it is cleared, well, not cleared, but rather launched out of the zone. It was a high velocity shot. I think Medalla kind of had a miscommunication with the Duquesne defenseman at the line. Here's a shot on net towards Gagne. It's saved and covered with 10:43 to go.
Duquesne wasn't able to convert in the offensive zone there, but I think if you're a Dukes fan, you got to be happy with the offensive chances that they created on that last possession. Haven't seen much of that from them here in this second period. It was good to see them finally get back there, right here.
That one goes out of play.
Yeah, that one took a weird deflection off the boards into the penalty box.
Duquesne's third string goalie, at least what he's listed tonight, Elliot Wrigley, almost like a shot there. And camera girl in that box as well. Kind of a think fast situation. Haven't had anyone come up here, any of them come up here just yet, but never say never. That one, shot on net is blocked. Duquesne was trying to push out with numbers, but Barger not able to get there. Pressure now on Karinsky. Karinsky trying to continue to push forward, turned over. Duquesne now having it under their rear end was Gary. He's gotten away by Kentucky. Now some speed into the zone. Here's a shot, and he scores! What a snipe from Anthony Santangelo. It's 2-0 Wildcats.
Yeah, Santangelo. What a shot there by him, finding that top left corner. Really did it himself on that play.
And with 9:54 to go in the second period, Kentucky out to a 2-0 lead with 2 goals here in the second period. Now that one brings back out towards the blue line. It's kept in and ushered further by Ulen. Now back up to the point. There's a shot from a fake, and now a shot on the right side. That was by Nick Delaney, but no problem for Gagne there. Gagne, 22 saves so far on the night. Has given up 2 goals, however, but it's hard to fault him for either of them. Puck up towards the point. It was shot on net, blocked. Blockered away, rather, but pressure still in Duquesne's own end until Goldan is able to get it out. Hard tape-to-tape pass there to Mooney. He's back for a pass that was intended by Ekdahl for Goldan. Instead, Kentucky, they have been able to dominate play here in the second period. And Duquesne finds themselves down 2-0 with a rally needed. Over the halfway mark as well in this one. 8:44 to go now. So Duquesne really not doing too much offensively, aside from the couple chances in the first period, just being outplayed right now by the Kentucky Wildcats. Missed tape-to-tape pass there on the right side of the blue line will lead to Duquesne having comfortable possession and trying to break out. They'll be shoved right back at them, and they'll try again. And the pass to Lombardo completed. Now into the offensive end, Lombardo trying to use his body behind the net. Will retain possession back up for Smith. Smith fires wide, but it could have been regarded as maybe a bank shot from Madalo. Either way, the puck goes out of the zone, and Kentucky will force Duquesne with some pressure to get it out of the, rather past the blue line. They might have more luck here with Smith and some space. Nice move by Leroy. Leroy caught off there, but he gets it away, and chasing after that one is George. Duquesne with possession. With some space, there's a shot on net, and it just went wide. And from this angle here, it looked like it almost went in.
Yeah, Jack, I thought that one was in for a second until I saw it hit the boards behind the net.
And here's a shot, unnetted save, but a penalty is called, and that was definitely the right call. The only reason that lane was wide open was because of interference on the part of the extra skater, Nick Delaney.
Last power play didn't necessarily go the way the Dukes were hoping. Maybe they've learned a little bit from that one. How to beat this Kentucky penalty kill a little bit. Try and get a goal here.
I think that was Jared Smith. Now was the one who drew the penalty. It just kind of just was shoved away as he was trying to go for the puck. And can't do that. What Kentucky can do, however, is clear that puck away 5 seconds into the power play. And Duquesne might not like that, however. They're going to regroup here. Tristan Lloyd out there with Marcus Ekdahl. My apologies. That's a defensive core made up here. Killian Flock out there with Joseph Kirkevold, along with Alex Goldan. Duquesne power play, trying to get something going. Here's Lloyd. With it, his pass deflected and cleared away. Another clear by Kentucky, and Duquesne's probably their patience being tested a little bit here because it's a lot of great play by Kentucky's penalty kill. They haven't missed a beat. They've been perfect in now almost 3 minutes of penalty kill action here tonight. Madalo had to be taken off the puck and tried to get it away for Goldan. Now Goldan lost it. Turnover. There was a guy wide open in the slot, but there were a couple guys converging for Duquesne. Rodriguez didn't get the puck. Madalo has the puck now for Duquesne. Now in front, and it's missed. Right next to the goalie. That's a good chance for Jason Tucker. Tucker over from Madalo. Now the shot on net. It deflects in front. Saved with the pad. Jabbing away at the Dukes. They can't put it in the back of the net. Cleared away.
Big opportunity there for the Dukes.
Absolutely. Finn Moss now with it. Lost it again, and it's going to be cleared away by Kentucky. 13, 12, and 11 left on the penalty. Now a shot in front, it's safe. Duquesne maybe looking to convert as the penalty comes to an end, but they have a 4-on-2. Makes it into a 4-on-3. Here's a shot on net, it goes wide. Trickles out in front, and it's covered. Maybe you wanted Duquesne to pass that around a little more. They had time and space.
Yeah, they had Finn Moss in front of the net there. He tried to go, knock that one in. Just couldn't get his stick to there in time. Good little flurry by the Dukes at the very end of that power play, but obviously you're hoping for a little bit more.
5:16 remaining in the second period of action. Back up to the point, it's Smith. Smith will get it down into the right corner board. Now out to the front, Lavrich Spand on the shot. Lavrich still has it though. Back up to the point, Lord throws it on net, in the slot. Backhand, it trickles towards the glove of Allen, and it's covered.
You're starting to see this Dukes offense come alive a little bit. They're getting the puck towards the net. Just got to find the back of the net here. .25-19 shots on goal favors the Kentucky Wildcats.
Puck will be gotten out of the zone by Kentucky, just barely. 4:48 remaining. No matter the score on the scoreboard, it does feel like Kentucky should be up by more the way they've been playing in the second period. Luckily for the Dukes, it really is still within reach, and a lot to be talked about in the intermission locker room. So you definitely want to try and get to the end of the second period. Maybe you can sneak one in the back of the net, but you got to keep it at a 2-goal game. Because this next goal really could be a huge decider in this one.
I think this next goal is going to tell you a lot about how this game's going to finish. If Kentucky gets it, that could be the end for the Dukes, but if the Dukes can get one, they're right back in this game.
Coldan trying to get on his horse. He fell down from behind. He probably wanted a call, but he doesn't get one. It was going to be a tight call anyway, so probably best for the refs to let it play. Now here's Coldan on the left side, makes a move in. Here's a pass towards the net. They score an empty move by Jason Tucker, and the Dukes cut it to 1.
Tape to Pate passing. Golden with a great pass there, and then a great move for the Dukes to get their first goal of the game.
You're right on the tape-to-tape part. That's about as good as it gets, and the Dukes have cut it to 1 on their 20th shot of the night. Wow, that was a nice goal right there. And all the Duquesne Dukes on the bench probably let out a big exhale because they're finally on the board. It took them 36 minutes and 12 seconds into this game, but they are finally on the board, and they have cut the lead to just 1. 3:43 left here in the second period of action. Now Duquesne's going to get an offensive zone draw, and just like that, Duquesne has a chance to tie it again.
Yeah, the momentum, you can feel it with that goal, has totally shifted. The Dukes are right back in this one. It looked like Kentucky was really having their way, but you saw those flurries of offense start to show up for the Dukes. They get one behind Allen, and now we'll see what they can do.
That puck will be banked off the boards. Duquesne flies it right back in. And it's intercepted. Duquesne with a shot in the slot. It's saved by Allen. He had to use a glove for that one. That one high in the air. Comes back down. It's kept in by Smith. Smith not really able to go anywhere. He's pretty far pinched in. Duquesne got to make sure this puck stays in the zone. And they get enough aggression towards that blue line to make sure that it didn't end up being a odd man rush the other way. 3:08 remaining. Duquesne really on the forecheck in the Kentucky off defensive end, my apologies. And it has led to them getting more pressure and continuing to turn the tide here. LaRoar gonna have to get back on that one. Can only just push it away, and now there's a shot in the slot, and it rings off the bar. This close to being 3-1, and Kentucky getting a 2-goal lead back. Wow.
What an opportunity, Kentucky there from the slot.
Woo.
That one rings iron, but that one was close.
That was 2-1 with 2:48 left in the second period of action. Jack Morgan here alongside Brendan Flato. We should have a good finish in store here. Duquesne, they were down 2-0, but they have got the last goal and they have made it a 1-goal game. Racing down to get that. What a rush there by Rich, and he gives Duquesne a chance to catch Kentucky off guard.
Yeah, that's a big play by Rich to wave off the icing there.
Up at the
Shows
point,
great
that
hustle.
shot was fanned on. Luckily, Duquesne probably has enough guys to get back and make sure nothing further happened, like a possible on-man rush. And a couple of collision towards the net there. I believe Duquesne, this is going to be a penalty on Duquesne. I think that happened towards the back of the net, but there's an injured Kentucky player, and that looks to be Charlie Chinian, and he is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, Rich and Chinian got tangled up there coming down the ice. It's going to be an interference call on Rich, but obviously, hopefully the Kentucky player is okay.
Well, I'm not sure if that was the call. I think it was, or at least where the penalty was, and was put up, was after he was already down. I think they might have gotten, now they're deciding it now, one of us is going to be right, but I'm not sure. Rich is going back to the bench. I think they got the collision down behind the net. There's a Wildcat that was circling. That might be what they get. Looks like. And Chinian, slow to get to his feet, really wishing for the best here. This does not look good. Putting zero weight on that left leg as a whole, and that's something you don't like to see. And you know what? You are right. They are going to get Zachary Rich. That was I believe there was a ref that was closer to that, but it was the back line ref on that red line who called the penalty. So, all right, so that is what it's going to be. They're going to probably be talking about whether, just going to be a 2-minute penalty for interference. Didn't look too malicious.
Yeah, no.
Enough to warrant any fives or anything further than that. So,
yeah, it almost looked like the two kind of just got tangled up there.
yeah.
Obviously, with Kentucky having an opportunity to score there, when you get tangled up with somebody and you take them down, you're probably going to get the interference call, even though you didn't mean to do it.
Puck fired away and cleared. So it's going to be a 2-minute penalty. It goes on Zachary Rich and the Dukes. Kentucky, their first power play opportunity of the night. Looking to build on their 2-1 lead that has been trimmed down to just one after it was 2-0 for the majority of the second period. And now they're cycling it around. There's Jack Knoll back up to the point. Now a one-time shot, and it's saved by Gagne.
There was some pushing and shoving out in front of Gagne there. Does a great job to see through the screen, get back across his crease, and make that save.
1:29 remaining here in the second period. Back up to the point. Kentucky working it around with 1:12 left on the power play. Duquesne on edge here with only 1 second separating the penalty time and the game clock here in the second period. Now at about a minute for both. There's a shot, it's blocked. Jared Smith with the block for the Dukes. Rodriguez with it. Back up. That is for Delaney. Rodriguez circles back up to the point. Here's a shot. It's deflected wide. That's a block by the Dukes again. Not out of the woods yet, however, as the extra skater Delaney has it almost a Duquesne clear. They're really circling the puck. They finally get it away with 25 seconds to go in the period and on the power play.
Much needed line change here for Duquesne. Get some fresh legs out on the ice.
You got that right. Aurora chopping at it, and it's cleared away. 12 seconds remaining. Duquesne has a chance now. Lombardo can't drag it with them. Now is fighting for it in the slot. 5 seconds remaining. 4-3, now 2, and finally 1. That will do it for the second period of action. Duquesne, after surrendering 2 goals to start the period, fight back and get 1 to make it a 1-goal game with the third period yet to come. Should be a great finish here from Alpha Ice Complex, Brendan.
Yeah, gaining momentum off of that goal and then that big penalty kill there. It's going to be huge for the Dukes as they look to make the comeback here in the third period.
We're going to take a break and come right back to you, get you ready for the third period of action here on the Duquesne Hockey YouTube channel. The score, UK 2, the Dukes 1. Second intermission here at Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. I'm Jack Morgan, alongside me, Brendan Flato. And Brendan, Duquesne definitely was down in the deep end in terms of momentum. They flipped it around a big way. It started with that goal and then the penalty kill, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. That goal was, 2-0. You're not really out of the game, but you go down 3-0. That's going to be tough. Getting that first goal, you're back within one goal when arguably Kentucky probably should have more goals than they have had. So I think that's huge for the momentum. And then I think that penalty kill right there at the end of the period could maybe spark something. It's like the first time that Duquesne has really showed that they are a really good defensive team. They showed it a lot versus Pitt. That's the first time we've really seen it here in this one. I think that could be huge for the momentum.
Absolutely. And we were talking before the game, a lot of guys that are willing to put their body on the line. We've seen that a couple times. We saw that on the penalty kill. And that penalty kill coincided perfectly with the time remaining on the clock. So you go right into the locker room pretty excited and happy with yourself after killing off such a big penalty like that. And it wasn't like Kentucky didn't have a lot of good offensive play in their offensive zone there. Duquesne was really having to be back on their heels, but they picked their moments, I think, to get aggressive and go on the forecheck, so to speak, in an aggressive sense to get the puck out of the zone. They did that a few times, and that was enough. But, I mean, yeah, we got the third period coming up in a couple minutes. Duquesne and Kentucky should have a good finish here from Alpha Ice Complex tonight. Kentucky 2, Duquesne 1 on the Duquesne Hockey YouTube channel. We'll be back for a third period right after this. Welcome back to Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. Jack Morgan alongside Brendan Flato. Give a lot of credit to the couple interns we've had switching around doing the camera tonight. They're doing a great job and really making our job easier and making our job as we want it to be, just to call the best game we can here for you, with Kentucky up 2-1 here as we enter the third period. And Brendan, that was a pretty important goal, especially personally wise, for Jason Tucker, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, Jack. That was his first career goal here with the Duquesne Dukes. Always love to see guys get their first career goal, get to keep that puck, and hopefully many more for Jason Tucker in the future here with the Dukes.
Absolutely. Congrats to Jason Tucker. The Dukes hoping to make that a more special occasion for him to remember with a win here tonight. 26-21 in terms of the shots. They are in favor of Kentucky. However, Duquesne had some momentum exiting the ice after the second period of play. It was the opposite of how we felt after the first period with Kentucky having momentum. We'll see where the tide swings, where the pendulum goes here in the third period. 2-1 Kentucky as we get into the final 20. Duquesne looking for the first win of the year. Kentucky actually 3-1-1 in the very early stages of their franchise history as a D1 club hockey program. Now there's a chance for the Dukes with a 2-on-1, and the pass over couldn't be gotten to by Flock. And now Smith will keep it in. Smith with some space. He scores! Duquesne has tied it. Jared Smith is the man who gets it done for the Dukes.
What a wrist shot there from the slot from Smith. And just like that, Jack, we're tied at 2.
Oh, wow. That was quick. A snapshot from Jared Smith. His first goal of the year. That is also his first collegiate goal. A couple of firsts tonight for the Dukes team.
We're going to run out of hockey pucks.
That might be a valid concern. All right, Duquesne keeps momentum, don't they, Brandon?
Yeah, they do a great flurry of offense to start. They had the one there where they almost got that centering pass to connect for a goal, but Smith gets it right back for the Dukes, finds the slot, puts the wrist shot past Allen.
All right, so in more exciting fashion, we are tied again. First time since 0-0. And now here we go. Moving it in was Lewis. Lewis still fighting off the puck. A lot of good physical play by the Dukes here. You love to see it. He'll go off rotation. Going flying down. I'm not sure. Not to speculate, but it almost looked like a little bit of a, kind of looked like a penguin there sliding across the ice. He draws the penalty there. That being Duquesne drawing the penalty against Kentucky. That's going to go against Jake Laub.
Yeah, and Jack, something to note, right up in front of the Duquesne penalty box on that last play, two players kind of got tangled up. They were going after it pretty good. Ref had to break them up. Be interesting to see if anything comes from that.
Yeah, power play number 3 for the Dukes. Not really any success at all, but they have the momentum, so they're trying to use it. Shot on net, it is saved. It was in the slot for a little bit, but eventually cleared away by Kentucky. Duquesne trying to continue to bring the game to the Wildcats. Moss with it. Pass deflected. Rolling on that blue line and just, for safe measures, not the worst decision there by Madalo to reset it. He flies into the zone. Fans on the shot. Still has it, however. Has some space. Duquesne gets a defenseman off the ice. And Lloyd wide open at the point. They will get it to him. The shot on that save. Rebound. And things are going to get a little chippy there. Lombardo kind of lost where the puck was, or at least following his shot, just in case it landed in front of Riley Allen. It doesn't. Allen made the save.
Yeah, Jack, the Dukes haven't had so much success on the power play so far tonight, but we did see a lot of improvements on that second power play. We're already seeing more improvements here on this third power play. The Dukes are itching for a goal here.
Things have seemed to change. I will say, a lot of momentum on that Duquesne bench. Not exactly a way. I mean, it is tough to, you might be able to hear it in from our mics on our headsets. And we got a good look at the bench over there. The boys are buzzing over there. A lot of energy for Conrad Waite and his gang. We have some things to be sorted out here. I'm not sure what the situation is here. I guess maybe. Looks like Lloyd is off the ice. I'm not sure why. Maybe an injury. Not gonna. That probably won't speculate on what there, but Either way, Duquesne is going to be able to continue on with his power play. Minute 17, they've gotten a lot more pressure than they've gotten in the 4 minutes before it of penalties. With it, Moss now over to Flock. Flock on that, it's saved and covered by Allen. Allen actually wears an A on his jersey. Not a thing you see often, but Allen, one of the seniors on this team, is a leader in the crease, and not just in the crease rather, but on and off the ice. Allen backhanded towards net, save again. We're going to do it once more to take 3, so to speak.
Yeah, Allen and Gagne both playing great games here, only allowing 2 goals each, but they faced a lot of shots. 26 shots on goal for each team. That's a lot.
Now up at the point. Duquesne holding court with a minute now exactly remaining on the power play. The pass towards the center, nothing there, but Duquesne having to reset, but with the puck in the offensive zone, the one-time shot by Golden goes wide. Kept for the moment by Ekdahl. He had to pinch in from the defensive side to get to that. Golden now has it at the center of the slot. Left side. Golden moving in with a shot. It goes wide. It actually deflected. Duquesne now. 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Kentucky trying to rally the troops. That one goes high and wide. Pinching in again is Flock. He ends up getting to it. Duquesne has possession. Here's Flock behind the net. Looking for a man. It's thrown towards the center, towards Golden. Nothing doing there. Good defense by Kentucky. Kept in. 8 seconds left on the power play. One-time shot goes wide, and it looks like Kentucky will be able to clear off this power play. Yes, they do. And a good job by them. That is a much-needed clear, but for Duquesne gives it a little more positivity for the power play. They're going to have to defend a 2-on-1. What a great diving play to get back into the action by Ethan George, and a less challenging shot for Gagne is covered. Wow.
Yeah, Ethan George laying his body on the line for the Dukes there. That was a great opportunity for the Wildcats.
Kind of like a Superman dive. And now Gagne was out of position. He also doesn't have a stick. Whoa. He goes flying onto his back and play blown dead. I believe they're going to get Kentucky on a goalie interference.
Yeah, that's going to be 34th penalty of the game.
That was an epic fall by Gagne in front of the net. You couldn't miss it. There was a reason for that. Reason being Cooper Karinsky just knocking him on his rear end. It's kind of sneaky with those plays. You kind of try and give a little nudge as you swipe by the net, and that's what Karinsky tried to do. To no avail, though, Brendan.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky's gotten some great screens on Gagne, but...
Uh-oh, this could be trouble. One-on-one on the other way, but nicely defended by Jason Tucker. And Tucker, who has a goal in this one, looking for another one, as Duke's looking to chalk up their first win of the season. Medallo backhands it. Nice deflection. Had sprung Duquesne past the red line, but a nice hit there at center ice to knock the Dukes off the puck. A minute 31 remaining on the power play for goalie interference. This power play not starting as well for the Dukes, but they're trying to right the wrong here as that's thrown on net, saved, and cleared away. Took a favorable Kentucky bounce.
Great blocker save there.
Medallo's gonna go. He gets by one. Here's Max Medallo. He tried to push it through that left defense. He can't. Duquesne still has it though. That's a great pass over to the left side, but misplay on the right point, and it leads to Kentucky being able to kill more time. That was Kirkevold who couldn't hang on to it, or more so just couldn't get the right angle on that. Cleared away again with 38 seconds remaining on the power play. Kentucky trying desperately to turn the tide of this one. Duquesne really flipping it their way. and they look to capitalize on that with goal number 3. Now in the zone, here's a shot towards net. He fanned on it, goes down to the ground. That was Flock who created the opportunity. Cleared away again with 18 seconds now.
The Wildcats will change here, but those skaters for the Kentucky were on the ice for a long time. They had their opportunities to change this. They chose not to.
Ekdahl, spring pass up the other way, and I think that was something we talked about after the first period. Duquesne was just not breaking out their own zone at all. Not even well. It was just, they had no chances. They were just being locked up by Kentucky, and those breakout passes turned into icing more often than not. Duquesne's going to get a change here as the scrum is in the right corner board. The 50-50 puck won by Kentucky. And the penalty is over. Duquesne and Kentucky back to even with 13:32 remaining in this one. Big hit towards the Duquesne bench. Taking the brunt of that blow was number 11, Nate James. And dealing the hit was Killian Flock. A lot of aggression from him. He had 51 penalty minutes last year. He does not have any yet today. Won't gain any on that hit. That one fired towards net. It goes wide. That one once again towards Gagne. Gagne did not know where that one was. Now Barger sprung up the other way. But good defense by Kentucky's back end. Wow, Gagne was absolutely lost on that one. And who could blame him? That was a rocket towards nets.
Yeah, well, I think that one hit right off of Gagne's mask.
Yeah. That was loud, too. We heard all of that impact from our headset. One-time pass could have been dangerous, but, oh, boy. A fan at the point, and now breakaway. Kentucky looking for the lead. A big save by Gagne.
What an opportunity. Kentucky got 2 guys going down there.
Oh, a big collision there. I think they're just, I don't know how you call that one. That was tough. Maybe, I think they're going to go with the penalty being called against Duquesne. That was Dominic Lombardo, again, aggressive towards that right side of the blue line near the Alpha lettering. Wow, that was a heavy collision, I guess. Kind of tough to see it in real time from our view. Obviously, we do. It was kind of in front of us, but on the far end, it's kind of very quick. What did you see there, Brendan?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that I had a great look at that penalty. Not exactly sure what happened, but Kentucky's going to get the power play.
Kind of a quick moving takedown if that was what Lombardo had actually done. I mean, if so, that was a very efficient takedown, and he might have a talent in the UFC. That one cleared away, and Madalo is racing after this one. Madalo, actually, really good skater, is forcing chaos in the Kentucky defensive end, running into a hit, but next Madalo, an aggressive forecheck, takes another 5 to 6 seconds off the clock. He's going to have to get back as Duquesne defending a power play for the next minute 38. 11:50 to go here in the third period. Duquesne and Kentucky both have had their chances in the third period on the man advantage. No one breaking through yet. That one is kept in just barely. But Kentucky with some open space here. They're trying to get it over to that right side where I think a lot of the space is. Huge hits on the puck on Luke Laveridge. And now there's a shot. It is, I believe it was saved.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It goes out of play with 11:25. That was a fast-moving couple seconds there where the Kentucky shot came from inside the slot.
Yeah, Kentucky brought the energy on that last play. Gagne able to get his glove on it and knock it into the safety netting. Kentucky's threatening, though.
11:23 remaining here in the third period. That one fired down the other end and cleared away with 11:15 to go in the third period. Little stick handling by Allen. Zachary Rich was the one pressuring. Bringing it into the zone is Rodriguez. Rodriguez makes a man miss. Here's Rodriguez cutting in towards the center. Not cleared away. Kept at the center of the point now. Down towards that right circle. It's fired high.
Kentucky's been getting some great shots from the slot.
That
There's
is a
collision.
big hit. And Duke is down for the count. They want a whistle blown dead, and Duquesne got that whistle. Kentucky not happy with it, but a down Duke near the boards. And we're going to allow that injured Duke to be tended to. We will get back to you after this is sorted out on the ice. Kentucky 2 and Duquesne 2 with 10:40 to go in the third. Brandon Barger being the injured Duke over there in that board area. He comes off the ice under his own skating power, and hopefully he is able to rebound and find his way back into this one. 26 seconds left on that penalty taken by Lombardo. Duquesne desperately needing to clear this one off, but a lot of work ahead. 20 seconds left. Now there's a shot towards net, is blocked and cleared away. 15 seconds and counting. Duquesne might have done it.
It was a great stand there from the Dukes.
And that will probably do it for the power play. 3 seconds now, 2 and 1. Duquesne has cleared it off. But they still got a chance here to take care of it. Shot on net, Gagne saves it. That one pushed out of the zone. Kentucky with the momentum here after that power play. Duquesne has to find a way to take it back. Goldan intercepts that pass. Kentucky moving it forward, but no further than the red line. Duquesne with possession. They push it all the way down the ice. It's going to be no icing. Duquesne's fine with that. A 2-on-2 sprung up the other way, but a misplay on the puck, and now Duquesne might look to push the other end. No. Wild collision as that puck was cleared in. With it, Kirkevold, and now over, racing towards that one is Ekdahl. Duquesne can't get it out, fired on net. That one goes wide to the right. Specifically to the left of Gagne. Gagne has come up with some big saves. That puck is flying into the benches. And actually first bounced off of the glass behind the Duquesne bench and then over into the Kentucky side of the bench.
Yeah, I think that one drilled their coach in the back of the head.
Yeah,
He looks to be okay, though.
I think that actually just misses that, but it definitely hit his back. The back, like, neck area. He didn't cover his head, in fairness. Good for, he knew where the puck was going. Somehow he somewhat read that bounce. It certainly beyond me, but good on him.
Good game awareness.
Absolutely. Gotta agree with you there, Brendan. Kentucky looking to really score what would be a discouraging goal for Duquesne to allow. There's a shot on net, it's saved. Gagne has done it again to keep the Dukes even with 8:52 in the third.
That is two incredible saves by Gagne here in this third period. First, the one on the breakaway where he came all the way out, and then that one going across his crease to deny the Wildcats from point-blank range.
My goodness. That one fired on net. It's saved. Puck kept in at the line. That could be trouble for the Dukes. Here's a shot on net. It's covered by Gagne with the glove.
Kentucky's offense starting to show back up here in this third period. See if the Dukes can kind of turn the page again here.
Face off won by the Dukes. They will get it out the zone and try and push up the other way. Goldan trying to win a foot race on the left side. He lost the puck, and Kentucky will avert the chance for now. And now a chance the other way. A possible 3-on-1 developing. The centering pass, and they have not given a signal yet. I believe Duquesne somehow survived that. Wow, no goal. Oh my, it is all hands on deck for Duquesne now.
Did Gagne save that one, or did the net come off the thing?
I think that might have been a combo of both. Man, that was...
You saw Duquesne
close.
Defenseman go flying in there, too.
Oh, yeah. A lot going on there. The refs did not have a official, like they never pointed towards the net for the goal signal, so I was believing it wasn't a goal, but I didn't want to give a false indication to you guys listening to this one, so yeah, that's why it took me a while there, but it initially did look like Duquesne survived, but the official ruling came a few seconds after. And this could be trouble for the Dukes. Here's a shot, and it's saved. It's loose in front. And it's still in the slot for a shot that saved. Rebound. Still loose, just slapping away at it. And I think Duquesne, once again, coming within inches of going down 3-2, have survived it again. 7:46. Gagne's a brick wall in the net so far in his third period. Wow.
That was one heck of a save from Gagne there. Got a little chippy after the fact, too.
That would be a good way of describing it. Wow, that was, I mean, good Lord. That has been two nail-biters in the span of a minute and change. Here for the Dukes, trying to get their first win of the season. It's clearly not going to be easy. Medallo having trouble with that draw with Yulin. And the puck kept
they're going after
thrown
it.
towards the net, and yeah, some issues down there. Duquesne's going to want to get away from that. They cannot afford to have to kill another penalty. Kentucky's looking great on the penalty, on the power plays. I don't think Duquesne, that is big trouble if they had to kill off another one. I mean, not that they have been bad penalty killing wise. They have a 100% success rate, but man, it's been tough sledding for their penalty kill at some points, and that's a dangerous pass towards the middle. That's going to be offsides, and no doubt about that one.
Yeah, you were talking about it, Jack. Kentucky's special teams has been really good in this one. Power play and power play kill.
Yeah, they have not failed them, and they've had a couple short-handed chances, too. So
yeah,
all three phases really excelling.
Yeah, that first penalty kill for Kentucky, they had a lot of short-handed chances.
That one rocketed towards net, and that one was gloved. Smith gets to it. Kentucky with a forecheck. This could be the chance they need to break free on the scoreboard. 50-50 puck again, and now play blown dead. I'm not sure if they did call a penalty. I thought they called that on Kentucky only. Maybe it was alternating.
Looks like they're both gone.
Wow, so Duquesne and Kentucky going to be 4-on-4 here, I believe.
That was a weird play. They were kind of just going after it. The puck wasn't even really there.
I believe that is Caden Englund going to the penalty box for Kentucky. And what is that? face-off will be redone here.
I think they're waiting on the power plays to show up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Luke Laveridge gets a penalty for Duquesne in this situation. It will be, as it is right now on the ice, 4 skaters apiece. Refs waiting for the penalty to be put up on the board. There's 1, and there is 2. All right, let's do this. Yeah, so Englund and Laveridge, the 2 penalty recipients on that scuffle. Duquesne trying to take advantage of more open ice. There's a shot on net, it's saved. No rebound as Allen able to cover it with ease. 6:44 left in the third.
Good job by Duquesne there of getting to the slot, but Allen able to stand his ground there.
We have officially hit midnight on the East Coast. Duquesne looking for win number 1 and a late one as that one is thrown on net and saved. This is the official start time for some of Kentucky's home games, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Not sure how they do it.
does this count as having 2 games in one day since there's a game technically today at 2:30?
For the nature of it, let's say that it does count because that's just more cool. It's more cool to say.
We got a doubleheader for you folks.
Oh yeah. All right, Duquesne trying to take advantage of the open ice, as I just said. Golden with it. He can't pull it through the defender, and Kentucky has it. It's, as of right now, a 2-on-3. Duquesne has the numbers, and eventually they will reset, as Kentucky has it with 6:06 remaining here in the third period. Racing after that one is Dominic Lombardo. He set off with a disadvantage, a puck way too far away from him. It's a good spring pass up for a clear by Santangelo. Santangelo had the last Kentucky goal that came in the second period. They're looking to do it again. Here's a one-on-one opportunity. He scores! Nifty moves from Jake Lobb, and Kentucky takes the lead with 5:39 to go in the third.
Yeah, that was a great job of avoiding the sliding the defender and then getting it up over the shoulder of Gagne, top shelf for the goal.
And now Duquesne has their backs to the wall again. They have not led in this game, but they had this game tied for a while here, but just were not able to push through. They have 5 minutes and 39 seconds to tie this one back up. We'll see if they're capable of doing so. Kentucky looking for win number 4 on the year. Played a lot of games for this early in the season. It's September 26th, well, technically September 27th.
Yep.
But this is their 6th game. Only Duquesne's 2nd game. So you gotta also remember, Duquesne still with some new faces. They're trying to get that chemistry going. And Kentucky's in game number 6. I mean, you certainly, maybe a tale of two swords. I think Duquesne didn't really start this game off too hot. Kentucky really controlled the first half of the game, but ever since then, Duquesne has really rounded into their own offensively and made this a close game.
Yeah, we saw 2 weeks ago when Duquesne faced off with Pitt. They made a lot of comebacks in that game, responding to a lot of goals by Pitt. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again.
They need another one here. Puck kept in, it was jammed in. And oh man, what a keep at the line. A shot is blocked, and now we're back to 5-on-5 action. And it's offsides. I'm not sure Duquesne noticed that. And 4:46 now remaining in period number 3 with Kentucky up 3-2, looking to close this one out.
Kentucky's really jumped ahead in the shots on goal too recently. They lead Duquesne 40-29 in that category.
Four and a half remaining here in this third period of play. Duquesne down 3-2, looking for the equalizer. They've tied it up before after trailing by 2 goals. They need to do it again. There's no other options if they want to improve to 1-1. Centering pass, not there. Kentucky has it, 4:14 to go now. Lavrich racing after the puck at his first shift out of the penalty box. Center towards the net, doesn't even get to the slot. And now will be kept by Smith, firing towards the net. Now loose in the slot, nothing doing there. Wow, that took a Duquesne bounce off of the top of the glass, but Duquesne deciding to get a shift change. Kentucky will roll it into the zone. It is cleared in. Kentucky now will get a change. Not Smith, that was rather Finn Moss racing after that one. That one dumped in, Flock chasing after it. 3:36 remaining in this one. Goldan can't get it, and it's cleared out of the zone. Now Kentucky looking to spring ahead. Duquesne having to take chances, so might see some more odd man rushes coming forward for Kentucky. As that shot is deflected out of play with 3:28 to go. It'll be a offensive zone draw for the Kentucky Wildcats, up 3-2.
For the Dukes, I feel like they got to get back to what they were doing early in this third period, getting pucks on net and really controlling the offensive zone.
And with 3:20 left, I think Duquesne's going to have to take risks to ensure that is the case. Oh, man, that one not gotten out. That's been a fatal flaw for Duquesne. It hasn't bit them too much, but it did bite them for the first goal of this game. And that was, one goal has been a difference so far. Kentucky quite fine, keeping the puck in towards the boards. 2:55 remaining now, leaks out, Kentucky wins a battle. That's a big battle to win, but eventually Dukes get it out. And now Metallo racing on the right side. Can make it work. And now, possible danger, some big hits from the Dukes. And they get it back the old-fashioned way. As now the pass for Lombardo, not completed. Having to get on his horse, that is Marcus Ekdahl. Ekdahl slams it out of the zone. Flock can't get to it. 2:26 remaining. And that didn't help the Dukes. It went out the ref again. Here's a chance for Kentucky. The shot on that save rebound. They scored. Kentucky has made it a 4-2 game. Some unfortunate bounces for the Dukes on that stanza.
Yeah, Kentucky just kept hitting away at that one. Eventually was able to knock it past Gagne to take a 2-goal lead with just 2 minutes left.
2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in this one. Kentucky has turned the tides quick, and it has mattered. I mean, just a big 3-minute search for them. Puts them up 2 goals. And now, once again, they have possession. Duquesne has to think about pulling the goalie once they can get offensive zone time. Looking to the bench is Gagne. Puck chipped in. See what the move is. They're going to, yeah, they will. They will pull Gagne as it's covered. So 1:54 left here in the third period. Duquesne down 2 goals to Kentucky in the second game of the year. They're looking for win number 1, but they have a lot to overcome here with 1:54 to go. So they do have the extra attacker. I believe Duquesne, yeah, they will get the extra man on. They originally didn't. Now they have that extra attacker. There's a shot on net. It goes wide. It was deflected. Up to the point. Fired on net by Metallo. Wide. Smith at the point. Fires again. Saved. Rebound. Saved again. A great set of saves there by Allen, saving the day. 1:37 and icing called on Kentucky.
Nice little flurry of action there from the Dukes offense. Got a couple of quality looks there, just couldn't put one in the back of the net.
All right, so 1:37 remaining. Duquesne down by 2. Hockey After Dark here from Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. Metallo up at the point. Makes a nifty move to 1. Fires towards net. In the slot, it's loose. Duquesne has it. 1:20 remaining. Fired on net, blocked. What a keep at the line for a shot on net blocked. Solo's the front, shot saved again.
Allen is coming up huge for his team right now.
Even more saves from Riley Allen. The senior experience is coming through. Wow, big hit at the line, but Duquesne gets it in. The threat not over. Around the net, a wraparound. It's denied. 49 seconds left. Play blown dead.
Zachary Rich took a hit there, but he did a great job to keep it in at the blue line, absorb the hit, and get it up to his teammates.
That cut came off of its hinges there. It feels like some of that, the final, however many seconds of that action was unhinged. 49 seconds ago. Kentucky does have there's going to be a timeout. I believe the Dukes are going to call it. I would imagine that would be a smart timeout call. 4-2 Kentucky over Duquesne, 49 seconds. We reset the game for you here. I'm Jack Morgan alongside Brendan Flato. And Duquesne being outshot by 9. They had some momentum, Brendan, but Kentucky is taking it back.
Yeah, they really did. It was looking like this third period was going to be all Duquesne. All of a sudden, Kentucky was able to get a puck out in front. A couple of good moves. They were able to go top shelf on Gagne, get that first goal. And they've been controlling the momentum since then.
Tell you what, Gagne certainly doesn't feel like he's allowed four goals tonight. He really has played well, hasn't he?
No, he has played really well. He has really kept Duquesne in this game. I think this game being so close has a lot to do with the performance of Gagne. He made a ton of great saves in this one.
Nick Gagne, the sophomore from Brantford, Ontario. This is his second game of the season. His first one didn't go as well. And this one, I'd say, has gone much better for him here tonight.
Yeah, and he played really well in that pit game. He ended up surrendering 8 goals. One came with the empty net, but he still played a great game in that one.
40 seconds remaining. Every second counts here in this corner battle that Kentucky was winning, and they eventually do win it. They will get it out of the zone and push it all the way towards that empty net. It is corralled, however, by Ekdahl. Last stand for Duquesne. They need a goal. They need 2, but 1 comes first. Ekdahl's shot is saved, 17 seconds remaining. And I will say, yeah, things going haywire now in that corner. I will say this, in Duquesne's defense there, what Kentucky was doing in essence was trying to waste time. They did hold that puck for a couple seconds. Duquesne has scored 2 goals in a 20-second period. You got to be flying towards the puck. And I think that's kind of the result of what happened.
Yeah, I don't think you can fault either side on that one. Obviously, they're both playing hockey here. Kentucky knows that they need to bleed out this clock. Duquesne knows that they need their goals. The players are going to go out. They're going to be aggressive there.
Kirkville does get charged for the penalty.
I think both ways.
Oh, yeah, they do. All right, so Kirkville was charged for a penalty, but I think that was really just I don't think they're going to put it on the scoreboard. I think, so Duquesne still an empty net, albeit with 15 seconds remaining, and a timeout. So actually,
Kentucky called the first one.
Yeah, so Duquesne now calls this timeout. I guess Kentucky with I believe it was 49 seconds trying to just strategize, make sure they were in the right positioning in their own end to make sure that Duquesne wasn't able to cut the lead to 1 at that point. And even if Duquesne were to cut the lead to 1 right now, I'm not so sure it would matter, because 15 seconds, the offensive zone draw is in favor of Kentucky. So it's on Kentucky's offensive end. They're going to have an opportunity here to just win this face-off and take all that clock off the scoreboard and salt this game away. And heck of a win it would go down as for Kentucky in a game where they battled adversity after seemingly looking like they were in control with that 2-0 advantage, and things changed in a blink of an eye. And both sides battling adversity, but Kentucky using that to kind of rise above here tonight, and we're going to most likely come away with this one, barring a absolute miracle. 6 seconds now, 5, 4, and 3. That will do it here from Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. Duquesne and Kentucky battling tonight to a 4-2 scoreline in favor of the Wildcats. Things not over yet, as the refs making sure nothing happens here. Final score, Kentucky 4, Duquesne 2, and a resurgent effort, very commendable effort from Kentucky here tonight, Brendan.
Yeah, for sure. They faced a lot of that adversity that you were talking about. And usually when you see a team make a trip, as long as the Kentucky team traveled to get here to Pittsburgh, when they face that adversity, sometimes you can see a team like that kind of crumble. They stuck to their game plan. They stuck to their brand of hockey, and they came out with the victory.
And just final thoughts from the Duquesne side of things for you, Brendan. A team now 0-2 with another chance at Kentucky tomorrow. That's a 2 p.m. start time. Just
Today.
Yeah, today. There you go. Absolutely. So, yeah, just final thoughts on Duquesne after a loss like this one here tonight.
I think this one's going to sting a little bit for the Dukes, but I think that they showed that they can come back in games just like they did in that opener 2 weeks ago against Pitt. Obviously, you're hoping to get a win against Kentucky, but the best part about this series is that they can do it again today. They can go play them again this afternoon and hopefully turn the tides.
We'll see if they're able to do that. As for tonight, however, your final score, Kentucky 4 and Duquesne 2. Duquesne battling back from down 2-0, but in the end, their efforts not resulting in a win. Kentucky gets the win here tonight. For Brendan Flato, I am Jack Morgan saying so long from Alpha Ice Complex in Pittsburgh, PA. And have a great rest of your night. Thank you for watching Duquesne Hockey on the Duquesne Hockey YouTube channel. Good night, everyone.